Hypnotizing you. Hypnotizing.
He hasn't got any.
I'm not ready for suicides. Can't I start with something a little easy?
The hard truth about the art community. I've been thinking a lot about the art community lately, mostly thinking about how it's changed over time and not in a good way. When I was an art baby, I wanted to be part of a community that would accept me for who I was and would like the art I put out. And I found that with the art community. I found mutuals, I made friends, and even found people who spoke about the same interests as I had. But it all changed. When I first joined the art community, people spoke highly of it, saying it was the most positive community you could get. Artists supporting one another and even lifting each other up, and it was true. But now it's the complete opposite in my opinion. The community is just so toxic, and that's just the honest hard truth. And there are a few things I can mention that makes the community as toxic as it is today. The first one being the biggest issue in my opinion, and in recent times has become something that's being normalized apparently, and that would be bullying artists off whatever platform they are on, big or small, because even though you're told to get your own style to grow as an artist, you're hated for trying to be unique and not reforming to the shackles of art and following the rules and guidelines of what people consider actual art. Like, what do you mean? The whole situation irks me so much because it bothers me how a bunch of people come together and think it's okay to verbally harass someone on the internet, and then when the person finally speaks up about it, mentioning how it hurts their feelings, they are bullied even more for being too sensitive or not being able to handle the internet. Honestly, it sounds to me like you're just making excuses as to why it's okay to be heartless monsters. This is not okay. It's not normal. And there are many other reasons why artists get bullied off the internet. For example, being a beginner. Crazy, I know. But if you've been part of the art community for a while, you probably know of a couple of examples which I shall not get into. And it's just crazy. Even those AI artists, I say artists with caution, I believe there are better ways to handle them rather than bullying and doxing, or even chasing them off the platform. Try and convince them to do their own art. I think that's a better option. If they don't stop, scroll. That's what the internet was made for. You don't need to sit and entertain them. If they want to continue being deluded and lie to themselves, let them do that. But if you give them attention, you're basically giving them what they want. Another concept I would like to talk about, and this concept I've grown to hate so much, is overrated art styles. This concept, this term, should not exist. No art style is overrated. This is merely artists disliking that a good art style is doing as well as it is. They start throwing around hate like this art style is overrated, low-key it's pretty ugly, or I don't know why people like it, it's not that good, etc, etc. The reasoning start getting a bit iffy and ridiculous as the hate train continues. A couple of examples would be the Xiaongshu art style, which is pretty recent, the Jelly art style, and even the Sam Does art style, which, like, what? I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, what, have I been living under a rock or something? With the Xiaongshu art style, people are just annoyed that beginners were learning from Xiaongshu tutorials without actually understanding what they were doing, changing their whole art style, and just using the Xiaongshu as theirs. Comments like, each time an artist uses the Xiaongshu art style, an angel loses his wings, were made a lot, which I get, but at the same time I think people just hated that it became a trend amongst the art babies. Jelly art style. That art style was loved at first, but once it got too popular and everyone started using it, each and every one of you started commenting crazy things about it, and the hate train began. And I believe there was some drama with the actual artist who started the art style, which I shall not get into, and I think you should take it with a grain of salt because I barely know anything, and there's no reason. But this is no reason to actually consider it overrated, you know? With the Sanders art style, I don't quite understand it. But take this also with a grain of salt. People considered it overrated, probably because they were hating, or because he mainly drew pretty girls and had a lot of, or had a bit of same face syndrome. And I'm shaking my head right now because honestly, those reasons are ridiculous. If someone wants to draw pretty girls constantly, they should go ahead. I love drawing pretty girls, and honestly, if you hate people for that, like what? And it's not like he couldn't draw other things. He could draw pretty men. Anyway, y'all need to get off the internet for reals. It's getting embarrassing at this point. Like, we need to stop. This whole concept needs to stop. Finally, I want to talk about ageism in the art community. Not too long ago, there was a trend on TikTok where artists would state their age, ask for support from other artists. Age that would be used ranging from 10 to 15 years old, which was okay, I guess. They are quite talented. Until, well, all the artists would start lying about their age in order to gain followers. Not only that, we had people bullying people who posted such videos because they considered it unfair that artists who were younger than them drew such godlike art and that were way better than theirs. Jealousy at its best. I tell you, jealousy at its best. In a lot of cases, yeah, it was grown-ass people lying about their age, but some were actual children. And I hate that people started making stereotypical comments like, the only reason your art is good is because you're 15, or the only reason my art is considered good is because of my age. The second comment that I just said was actually something I saw written by a 15-year-old who was turning 16 very soon, and they were pretty worried about the fact that they would no longer be considered good in their art. Which, come on, art is not defined by your age. Art is not defined by your age. Yes, you get some peaks in your child years, but you don't peak there quite exactly. Conclusion, the art community is just ridiculous. It's embarrassing and toxic, and that's the hard truth about it. However, I would like to mention that if you are watching this video and you are part of the art community or you're planning on joining, everything I say doesn't necessarily apply to everyone in the art community. There are always a few rotten apples amongst the bunch, and it's just your choice whether you are a part of that bunch. Yeah. And if you feel offended by what I said in this video, you can head to the comment section. You can hate, but honestly, I would advise against that because you're merely reflecting and it's embarrassing. Because it's not necessarily targeted at you unless you feel like you are the rotten apple, then you would feel targeted. But my name is BambishMirae and this is the end of the video. Thank you, and if you've watched this far, you are a real trooper. If you've liked this video, leave a like at the bottom and hit that subscribe button. Thank you, bye bye.